Hi guys, welcome back to Life in My 20s, where we talk about life in our 20s unedited. I clearly need to trim these pieces because they're kind of awkward. Today I want to talk about rebranding ourselves in our 20s and what that feels like and why does the light always only hit my nose? Like, I get it, it's big, but I'm humbled, okay? Also, I do not have a bra on. I wore it all day. I was so good, and the straps were overstimulating me. So just don't even worry about it, okay? I was fixing to draw out a new plan for my room upstairs. My husband and I have our bedroom, and then there's where all my pens went. We have our bedrooms, and then we each have our own separate rooms, and that's also where my vanity and clothes and closet and everything is. But I'm kind of wanting to make it part design studio, so when I go back to school in the fall, I have space to work, because I've been using our dining room table and I just feel like it's not working. But using it for getting ready and design is I'm trying to figure out how to make it work. So today I'm going to talk about where my brain has been at with just feeling the need to that lighting kind of throws me off. Feeling the need to rebrand myself, and not the need for other people, but my own desire to rebrand myself. And I think we're honestly always rebranding ourselves. I think that's just the reality of being human, and also being in your 20s. You change a lot any other time, but you change a lot in your 20s. There's a lot of rebranding and resorting of your life. Sorry, it's my yiddies. That happens in your 20s. And so I don't know if I told you guys, I meant that I was gonna draw out a plan for that room. I don't know if I ever got to that point. This is scratch paper. These are my printable planners. So something I've always struggled with and branding myself with is fashion, style, because growing up I had when I was a young child, I had the cutest fashion ever, and then I went to public school and got bullied, and so I decided if I just wear what everyone else wears, then they'll stop making fun of me, and it worked. And for so long I just wore whatever was trendy, whatever was cool. Well, during teenagehood and then growing into an adult, I kind of had this thought of, I have no originality. I have this desire to have my own style. But then I just feel and I've talked about this so much, I think I might even have a video diary about it. If not, I need to make one, because I could go on and on. But the world of social media has made us think that we have to fit into a box of a niche or an aesthetic. There are certain creators that have this exact aesthetic that they go for and they follow all the time. And honestly, it's probably easier for them to decide what they want or what they like, because they have something to go off of. But I feel life loses its flavor for each person when you're following one consistent aesthetic just for the heck of it. Because honestly, I'll look at an aesthetic and I'll like this or that about it, but then there's things I hate. But if I say, oh, I'm just gonna be that one aesthetic, I have to wear it all. Some days I want to wear clean girl, and that's what makes me feel good, and other days I want to dress hippie, and that's what makes me feel good. I want to wear low-rise jeans, I want to wear tight high-waisted jeans, I want to wear my business casual to dinner instead of just at work. I want to do whatever I want. But here's the catch, is that I'm someone who's very anxious and indecisive, and so deciding what I want is actually so difficult for me. So this has been something I've been trying to hone in on. Not what will people like, not what do I think I'm supposed to do, but actually, what do I enjoy? When I put these clothes on my body, what do I like going out in? When I, go do this activity, what brings me life and what brings me way too much stress? And so that, but with everything, not just clothes. Because the biggest question I think that we all face in our whole lives, but also especially in our 20s, is who am I going to be? Who am I going to be? And what I'm learning, I'm going to write it down for you. We can be anyone we want. This might be backwards. What I'm learning is that we don't have to pick one thing and that be our whole identity. But also, this is where I get stressed. I am so creative and I love a million things. And I saw this post the other day that I shared on Instagram, and it said, when you love one, you love them all. Fashion, interior design, art, and I think there was one more. But it said you fall in love with the way that light hits things. You fall in love with the colors and the textures and the way that it makes you feel. And I feel like this is so true with creative people. And I don't know if this is a creative person thing or just an ADHD thing, but I fall in love with the idea of like everything. Like, I want to be a business owner. No, I want to be a mom. No, I want to be an interior designer. No, I want to own my, like I have constant ideas all the time. And a big challenge for me in my 20s has been trying to stick with one thing. Not like I can only do that one thing, but like deciding one goal and sticking to it. So last fall, I decided I was going to go back to school, which I never ever thought I'd do. Like, I literally said college is not for me, especially because I had very inadequate math education from being homeschooled, and I did not think I could even get back into college, so I just like checked it off. But something shifted in me, and I said, no, I'm not gonna like let that thing hold me back. I'm gonna do it. So I downloaded or like paid for a math teacher online, like recorded, not like an actual teacher. Learned all the math that I didn't learn in high school, and like it took me a couple of months, but I was like doing it every single day. Barely passed the math exam to get into college, got into college and became an interior design student. And that was so exciting, so thrilling. It was so much work and I was proud of myself. I honestly like the stress of something new, like working really hard and then being rewarded. And then that semester was really rough. It was really hard. School is hard in general, but like design school is all projects. Like, it is all. It's all projects except for the like 4 or 5 gen eds that you do, and those are pretty easy. Like, if I was doing all gen eds all the time, I'd be like, woohoo. But I do love the design classes. They're just a lot more work. But then I hit this point where I was like, is this even what I want to do? This is like stressing me out. I don't even know if this is who I want to be anymore. I still love all these other things. But I had to have this moment with myself of like, okay, but also you can't just give up on something because you lose interest. And I think maybe that's an ADHD thing. I lose the dopamine and I just want to move on to the next thing because I have a habit of bouncing from thing to thing to thing to thing. And there does come a point where you have to say, okay, like, I need a career. I have to pay the bills. I can't just, do whatever and lollygag. Like, and that to me, like, being really logical and serious with myself, but also like, I don't want to be financially stressed forever. Like, I want to be able to provide for our family, and if something were to happen to my husband, which I like don't even like saying those words out loud, but then I could provide for myself and our family. We don't have kids, but like we have a dog, and maybe we would have kids at that point. Anyway, so I kind of honed in and I was like, girl, you need to stick with this. I also forgot to mention, I was hired to be an interior design assistant, like as an intern, before I had even started school. And it has been the most like educational journey. But it gets like, I am like ready for being in charge and like doing the dang thing. And I think when I get to that point, I'll be better. But that's the work side of it, okay? Does anyone else feel like you're just constantly trying to figure out, not even figure out who you want to be? Like, I have chosen a career, I'm going to school for it, and I'm gonna do my best to see this through. Something really dramatic would have to happen for me to, like, not. But when it comes to my style, and when it comes to what I want out of any situation, out of life, the vibe that I want my life to be, that sounds like such a silly thing, but like, actually, because I used to want to be a stay-at-home mom and have like the mom homestead vibes, and now, this is no hate to anyone that does that, but like, now that makes me cringe. Like, I need balance because I learned about myself. So I think that's the funny thing, is you start to learn who you are, and you start to learn things about yourself, and you go, oh, like, I actually am not the person that, like, I'm not tied to being this person that I made up in my head. I'm not tied to, like, okay, I'm clean girl aesthetic and now I have to be that for the rest of my life. I'm not tied to, well, I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, so I have to be a stay-at-home mom. But when it comes to, like, those little things, like, you're allowed to just change and exist and be a lot of different people. But now my question is, like, finding balance, because I need, like, an extra week every week. Does that make sense? I have so many projects going. I have so many goals. Like, even just making these video diaries, like, I have a bunch of videos I want to edit and post, and that's something I really want to do. And I just haven't gotten to it because I've been so busy. And I'm not even in school right now. We're on summer break because design classes don't run in the summer. So my question and my thought is, like, how do I find the balance of, like, okay, I have the steadiness of my full-time career, but do I, like, it's so hard for me to not see things black and white. I've been talking about this, with my therapist. I see things like black and white, like there's no gray. And to me, it's like, okay, I'm going to be an interior designer, and that has to be my whole personality. I can't do anything else. Or I have to go be, like, make videos and be a YouTuber. Can't do anything else. So I'm trying to find the balance of, like, you can be whoever you want to be, but also, like, learning to take breaks. Like, I can't do it all, even if I so want to. And being able to, like, slow my roll and only focus on, like, what is good for me right then. So I guess if you have any advice or any thoughts, drop them in the comments. Or if you have been struggling with this, drop it in the comments, and other people give advice, because clearly I'm not the one. Especially if you're, like, older. I think something I really desire, now that I'm, like, thinking it through for this YouTube channel, is, like, to have women that are older, that aren't in their 20s, that can come in and, like, speak to us in our 20s, because this whole series is literally me going through life in my 20s, and that's it. That's the deal. And so I just think older people have so much wisdom, even if it's, like, you're in your 30s, like, you're not that much older. Like, the wisdom of those extra 10 years or 5 years or 15 years or 30 years or whatever is just amazing. So anyways, that's today's rant. I feel like I literally just talked. But anyways, today is July 19th. It's 8:36. I'm having to look at the TV because I don't know what the date is. I never do. And it is really hot and humid outside. And I went grocery shopping today on a Saturday, learning how to just rest and be at home. Kind of weird. Enjoying my mortgage. Anyways, that's the talk. That's the video diary. Let me know what you think, and I will see y'all later.